Secret meeting in London to end cash globally. Well, we're going to be breaking that down. We've got huge reports on Fukushima saying containers could lead to hydrogen explosion. That's RT. We've got this whole new soccer indictment globally with the FBI. We'll break all that down. But first, here's Obama, candidate Obama, debating President Obama on warrantless wiretapping and Big Brother spying.
The separation of powers works. Our Constitution works. We will again set an example for the world that the law is not subject to the whims of stubborn rulers and that justice is not arbitrary. This administration acts like violating civil liberties is the way to enhance our security. It is not. There are no shortcuts to protecting America.
But my assessment and my team's assessment was that they help us prevent terrorist attacks.
This administration also puts forward a false choice between the liberties we cherish and the security we provide.
You can't have 100% security and also then have 100% privacy and zero inconvenience. We're going to have to make some choices as a society.
I will provide our intelligence and law enforcement agencies with the tools they need to track and take out the terrorists without undermining our Constitution and our freedom. That means no more illegal wiretapping of American citizens. No more national security letters to spy on citizens who are not suspected of a crime. No more tracking citizens who do nothing more than protest a misguided war. No more ignoring the law when it is inconvenient. That is not who we are. And it's not what is necessary to defeat the terrorists.
And what I can say is that in evaluating these programs, they make a difference in our capacity to anticipate and prevent possible terrorist activity. In the abstract, you can complain about Big Brother and how this is a potential program run amok. But when you actually look at the details, then I think we've struck the right balance.
Incredible deception. But we got good news. Kylie Jenner, with her 10 million mindless followers, is now worried about chemtrails. There could be hope. Here's Leanne's report.
I'm going to call this a victory. I would like to point out Kylie Jenner, yes, of the Kardashian family clan, tweeted out to her 10 million plus followers a picture about geoengineering, and it's questioning, what are these lines in the sky? Who's paying for this? Why is it happening? Click on that picture and make it bigger so people can see, why do I have to see these when I'm on my way to work? How is it going to affect our health and our children's future? So I don't normally care about the vapid Kardashian clan and how they have zombies of the world enthralled. But Kylie Jenner tweeted this out to her 10 million plus followers. So I can guarantee there was a collective neck bending by the zombies of, oh. So even if it was only 5% of the people who are following her on Twitter who actually cranked their necks to look up, that's still 500,000 people who are now conscious and aware of chemtrails, who might ask their neighbor, hey, what is that? Just a very, very small shift in the collective consciousness of humanity that we need to see sweeping change.
That is Leanne McAdoo's excerpt from the nightly news last night. And it's a big deal to be able to reach the zombies like this, and that folks are beginning to research geoengineering. So maybe Kylie Jenner is really smart and knows what's going on. That is certainly exciting. We'll be back with over-the-top important news across the spectrum on this live Wednesday global transmission. I got to tell you right now, it's another one of those days. It just gets crazier every single week, every month, every year. There is just an overload of incredible news and information, and it all ties together. The incredibly corrupt Justice Department that is villainous even by third world standards. that is tyrannical, that targets its political enemies openly, nakedly, that ships guns into Mexico to destabilize that country, create mass murder, and demonize the Second Amendment. The group that's been involved in persecuting Christian organizations and sicking the IRS on their political enemies, arresting filmmakers. This group is now globally going after the world sport, the FIFA, that sit over international soccer, the World Cup, you name it. And no doubt there's some corruption in the World Cup. No doubt there is corruption in every major sport. But you can't have Hitler or Stalin or Jim Jones or Jeffrey Dahmer or John Wayne Gacy or Attila the Hun or Genghis Khan or Caligula or Fidel Castro sit in judgment like Loretta Lynch's Justice Department is doing. They have launched a full-bore offensive against the FIFA. The department unleashed a 47-count indictment Wednesday against 14 international soccer officials. You talk about grandstanding and a huge political diversion from all of the corruption of this Justice Department. This is like Satan saying he's going to investigate a bootlegger that's selling whiskey out his back porch. I mean, it's just too much. This is the same Justice Department that won't do anything about rigging the gold and silver market with naked shorts, put options. This is the same Justice Department that won't go after the NFL with its unparalleled corruption and the incredible corruption of basketball, baseball. I mean, it's joke level. How corrupt our Olympic team is, all of it. People talk about the Russians cheating. Of course they cheat. The United States cheats even worse. We're the best at cheating, probably. And it's to sit there with their finger pointed out when they are the worst of the worst of the worst, when they are shutting down selectively our power plants, allowing Obama to give thousands of waivers to companies to not follow Obamacare when everybody else has to. I mean, classical picking winners, classical big city mafia machine activity. I mean, you want to live in Chicago, you want to live in New York City, you want to live in D.C., baby. This is that type of corrupt government system writ large. And while we have this going on, they're trying to start war with Russia. There's more on that we're going to be getting to, but here it is in the New York Times. FIFA officials arrested on corruption charges. And the Swiss are involved investigating as well. Sepp Blatter isn't among them. This would be like if they arrested all the heads of the NFL, the owners. I mean, this is chilling. They can get away with anything, folks. FIFA officials corrupted football, U.S. officials say. Of course, they call it football worldwide, not soccer. Wall Street gets slammed with $5.8 billion in fines for rate rigging. Sounds like she did a good job. Wall Street makes hundreds of billions a day in many cases, tens of billions every day off rigging the rates. Everyone should be going to jail instead of $5.8 billion in fines. So my point is, we've got stuff that affects everybody. Rigging interest rates, rigging currency trading, rigging the stock market with high-frequency trading. Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan Chase are the leaders. And they're the biggest financiers of these administrations. Understand that. They're the ones paying for open borders, paying for the TPP, paying to go after our guns, paying to persecute the church in this country. Now, continuing here, ladies and gentlemen, that dovetails with this article on Infowars.com. This Bloomberg story, 6 banks pay $5.8 billion, 5 guilty of market rigging. The essence of tyranny is when the elites selectively enforce the law and put people in jail for crooked toenails while they basically sacrifice children on the temple's front lawn. Secret meeting in London to end cash Infowars.com, Paul Joseph Watson. General Obama isn't going after this, are they? No, because they're run by these very same groups. His attorney general won't say a word. Secret meeting in London to end cash. Central banks aim to institute, quote, governmental approval for all purchases and sales, to shut down farmers markets, to shut down underground economies that you'll need to survive during a global Cloward and Piven artificial implosion, a great leap forward, a cultural revolution to domesticate you, to end normal, independent, local commerce. That's what communists always do. That's what fascists always do. That's what totalitarians always do. The old name for it is serfdom, feudalism, slavery. You think serfs could run businesses on their own before the Renaissance in Europe? You think serfs could run businesses in Japan outside of government approval? Do you think without the shoguns, okay, do you think in any culture from ancient Africa to ancient China, from the ancient Middle East to ancient Mesoamerica, do you think anybody could have any type of business or operation that wasn't certified and approved? No, 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 no. Economist Martin Armstrong claims there is a secret meeting to end cash set to take place in London before the end of the month involving representatives of the ECB and the Federal Reserve. Well, the ECB, the Federal Reserve, the head of Citigroup, the head of Goldman Sachs, the head of Bank of America, the head of Wells Fargo, they've all been in the news. JP Morgan Chase saying end cash. They already track it with the digital numbers on it and the little monofilament line that's in there, the little tape. That's got all the history of where the money goes and who has it and where you got it out and who got it and where it got deposited again later. Armstrong, who is known for successfully predicting the 87 Black Monday crash, I want to get him on, guys, as well as the 1998 Russian financial collapse, expressed his shock that no news outlet had reported on this upcoming conference. It's just like Bilderberg or Bilderberg steering group meetings. In fact, you can bet that this meeting is preceding the Bilderberg group. They always have key meetings right before it. Then they got the final vote at Bilderberg. I find it extremely perplexing that I have been the only one to report on the secret meeting in London. Kenneth Rogoff of Harvard University and William Booter, chief economist at Citigroup, will address the central banks to advocate the elimination of cash to bring to fruition the day when we cannot buy or sell anything without government approval, writes Armstrong. When I Googled the issue to see who else had picked it up, to my surprise, Armstrong Economics comes up first. Others are quoting me, but I even find it spreading as far as the Central Bank of Nigeria, but I have yet to find any reports on the meeting taking place in London when my sources are direct. Once all money exists only in bank accounts, monitored, or even directly controlled by the government, the authorities will be able to encourage us to spend more money when the economy slows or spend less when it's overheating. That was a quote by one of the chief bankers who will be addressing the meeting, Kenneth Rogoff. Wrote in an article, we covered this article 2 weeks ago, it was in the news, in the Financial Times, abolishing physical currency in order to stop tax evasion and illegal activity. This is by the very banks rigging the markets, rigging the interest rates, rigging the currency speculation, rigging everything. These are the big banks caught laundering the drug money, caught owning the aircraft and leasing the aircraft to fly the drugs, caught running the entire show. And they're the ones that want to charge you to have deposits. Well, you're like, I'll just keep my money in my basement. No, you won't, because it'll be in their hands so they can start doing the bail-ins. Like they're now saying they're going to do in Greece, they've already done in other countries, like Cyprus, where they just take whatever they want with government approval, of course, ladies and gentlemen, always with government approval. So this is how they do it over and over and over again. They're making their move on every single front. You know, I don't care, but see, the light's on camera 2, but I'm on camera 1. I mean, I don't care. It's just that it gets confusing. I'll try to figure that out, though, someday, because sometimes it's red lights, sometimes it's green lights, Sometimes it's no lights on these cameras. And whenever I was in other TV studios, it's just a red light when it's on. And then you just know the camera you're on.